Diamonds are forever.
I believe that our daimons, our selves, our future selves, our higher selves, our Jungian selves, communicate with us a variety of ways. But the way that they communicate with us most prolifically and most often is through our dreams. And you may be thinking to yourself, I don't feel communicated to through my dreams. My dreams are kind of strange and obscure and meaningless. And you think that just because you don't understand the language your dreams are speaking in. Your unconscious, your subconscious, speaking to you through your dreams uses the language of metaphor and associations and memories and imagery. And so because of that, they can seem like nonsense. But if you take the time to really take a dream apart and look at it and figure out what the different parts mean, it can be extremely meaningful to you. Jung believed that every dream that you have can add something to your conscious understanding. And if it doesn't, that just means you haven't interpreted it right. And I tend to believe that too. And so because of that, I have spent a lot of time learning to understand and decipher and work with dreams. And it's something I even do professionally with clients. And so I want to tell you about a dream that I had a couple of nights ago. And so in this dream, I was rewriting a famous poem. I'm not sure why. But this poem, you might have heard it before. You might have seen it printed out, especially if you grew up in an evangelical home or you had evangelical relatives. I think the poem is called Footprints, and it's all about this guy's walking on the beach with Jesus, and he's looking back and seeing all their footprints next to each other, and then he notices, during the hard times in my life, there was only one set of footprints. What's up, Jesus? Where were you? And Jesus says, oh, that's where I was carrying you. That's why there's only one set of footprints. And it's kind of, it's cheesy, and you've probably heard it or you've seen it in a cross stitch somewhere. But I've often thought, that is a little bit kind of how the daimon, the higher self, works. It accompanies you throughout your life. And you could even argue that sometimes when you're not willing to do things yourself that need to be done, it does them for you. So in that sense, it kind of carries you. And so the dream I had, really strange, I was rewriting this poem, but I was rewriting it so that the footprints of Jesus weren't Jesus's footprints, but they were the footprints of a hippopotamus. And so because of that, they were, sets of two, or sets of four instead of sets of two. They were large, obviously, because a hippopotamus has large feet that don't look human at all. And I was like, when I woke up, I wrote this down immediately, because you should always write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. You'll think you'll remember them, but you won't. So I wrote it down, and then I went through the process of kind of deciphering this dream and what it meant. And here's what I came up with. A hippopotamus doesn't look fearsome. It doesn't look dangerous. It actually looks kind of approachable because, it's kind of fat looking, and it's got a little short tail in it, and its mouth, its snout is kind of rounded, and it's got little, wiggly ears. And so it looks kind of friendly and approachable. But the reality is hippopotamuses are really dangerous. They are the second most deadly mammal on the planet. Do you know what the first most deadly mammal is? Obviously, man is what everybody will say, and yeah, that's true. But as far as like non-human animals, the most deadly before the hippopotamus is the dog. And that's not because dogs are vicious and attack people randomly, but because people get rabies from dogs. And people die from rabies. But hippopotamuses don't give you rabies. Hippopotamuses just flat out attack you. They capsize boats. They chase people. And they are vicious. They kill like 500 people in Africa every year. And so in spite of looking approachable and kind of lovable, they're actually really powerful. And I believe this dream was telling me kind of how to think about the daimon. yes, it is potentially an expression of myself. And so in that sense, it has my best interest at heart. It loves me. It is looking out for me. It is guiding me. But just because it's on my side doesn't mean I can take it lightly, or I should disrespect it, or I should imagine it as incapable of having an effect on me. It's very powerful. And I in an earlier episode, I told the story of how I believe my daimon got me fired from a job that I wasn't willing to quit. And looking back further, I haven't told the story, but I believe my daimon ended my first marriage. And so even though it did those things for my benefit, it clearly is very, very powerful if it can affect my jobs and my relationships. And Jung believed that the self had that even though it's theoretically a part of your psyche, it can have an effect on matter. And that's how he explains synchronicities, that matter and psychic substance affect each other. If my reading of him is correct, he believed the self kind of had a priori knowledge, that it kind of knew things just by existing that you wouldn't expect it to know, that maybe you don't know consciously, that it's really, really powerful. And I believe that's probably how we should think about it. Yes, on your side, yes, looking out for you, but that doesn't mean it is incapable of having great effect on your life. And so it needs to be treated with respect and gratitude and all of those things. And so that's, and I'll say this too. A couple of nights ago, and I'm not gonna get into this one, but I had another dream that kind of expressed that same idea, and it involved some people in my life that I don't necessarily want to name or explain what they meant to me in the dream. But both of these dreams kind of seem to be saying, you need to treat this future Jungian self, this Daimon. You need to realize how powerful it is. That's not to say don't engage with it, don't have conversation with it, don't embrace it, but just realize it is not the same thing that you are consciously. It's much more powerful. And Jung even said you'll start to see your dreams kind of working to express the same thing to you over and over and over again. So I believe in these last two dreams, I've seen a repetition of a theme, because I think it's a theme that I need to really focus on in my life. So anyway, that's the story of the hippopotamus and the footsteps, and I know if that poem means something to you religiously. I'm not trying to make light of it. Maybe my subconscious was, I don't know. But it seemed like a pretty clear way to make a point to me, and it made that point effectively. But at any rate, that's what it all meant. Thank you guys for watching. We leave this video with two encouragements. One, recognize your daimon, yourself, for how powerful it is. And two, record your dreams and learn to analyze them. That will be the clearest way to communicate with your daimon. Okay, thanks guys, bye.